You know, when we look at our own psychedelic experience, it seems so personally huge that it's very hard to place it in a context of hundreds of thousands of such experiences. But when we do that, when we look at the medical research that was carried on until it was suppressed some 20 years ago, the feeling that you come away with is psychedelics dissolve boundaries. This is what they do. They dissolve boundaries at every level. They dissolve boundaries between the conscious mind and the unconscious mind, between men and women, between various societies and points of view. And at one time, I was willing to let it rest at that, to imagine, well, these things are boundary dissolving, structure dissolving compounds, and this is what gives them their enormous import, because they lead us outside of the theater of language and into the real world that we suppressed in the process of becoming acculturated to our own culture. But now I've thought more deeply about this, and I think we can say more about this phenomenon of boundary dissolution, because the most profound boundary that any of us experience is the boundary between ego and world. We are in the world, but we are the ego. This is the cultural myth in which we live, and this is the cultural myth that is completely dissolved, exploded, and blown away by the psychedelic experience. It is not a cliche to say that it is an experience of oneness. This notion that the quality, the primacy of experience is the centerpiece of being, not regret, not plans, not projections, but the primacy of the felt experience of the moment. And this is not an exhortation to a political movement. The mind that it is most important to change is our own, each of us, by ourselves. So I think, it's wonderful that psychedelic use is spreading, because each person who is touched by it is brought back into the authentic community of being. But it's also very important that we who are psychedelic remain psychedelic, deepen the psychedelic commitment, and carry it forward, because after all, we're the yeast that could make the bread rise, and then there would be bread for everyone. Thank